All right, in today's video, we are going to learn how to strip and twist wires together. And of course, in electricity, when you're putting your circuits together, you always want to make sure that you have good, tight connections because just like a chain, your electrical circuit is only as good as your weakest link. The tools we're going to need for this job is going to be a pair of linesman pliers. We're going to need some wire strippers, some kind of a knife to peel the wires with, and then to put them together. You're going to need some, I call them morettes. That's just a brand name, but they're wing nuts or wire nuts. And of course, you're going to be working with wires, so make sure you got your safety glasses on because safety first. All right, let's get to it. In most house wiring, the size of the wire is either a number 14 gauge wire or a number 12 gauge wire. And the easiest way to tell the wire size right off the bat, if you can see the jacket, is usually number 14 is a white color and number 12 is yellow. Now, there are other wire sizes in your house, but these are the ones that are general purpose stuff. When you get into the bigger wire sizes, well, that would be a whole different video. In modern wiring, too, it is actually labeled right on the outside of the jacket here, like this. In older homes, the lettering could be gone or you just can't see it if it's buried in the walls. So I will explain to you in a few minutes how you tell what size your wires are. The other size wire we deal with in houses for general purpose wiring is called a 14-3, and you can see the difference between the two cables. This looks round and this one's kind of flat one way like that, so you can see. But again, if it's a 14-3, it just would mean the 3 means it has 3 conductors. It would be written on the jacket here, the wire size. So now how do we strip the wires before we can twist them? Now they do make a special kind of tool that goes over it and it kind of punctures the wire and then you can pull it and it'll score the sheath and then you can just get it off like that. I've never liked those tools myself personally, so I've always used a knife. And this is called, we call an Olfa knife. That's just the brand name right there. But it's like a hobby knife or an X-Acto knife, and you have to be very careful because these are very, very sharp. Now, most recently, I used to use just a regular old dull pocket knife, and I just recently bought this one, and it has a little point on it like that, and that point is good for scoring the wire too. But be careful; these knives are as well are razor friggin' sharp, so you have to be careful with any knife. Really, you have to be careful. So the method I use is to take your flat side of your 14-2, and when you're peeling wire back to go into a junction box or an outlet box or a switch box or a light box, 6 inches is good. And if you don't know what 6 inches, it doesn't have to be exact, but usually if you go like that between here and here, that's about 6 inches. So you just kind of go like that, and you can see my knife is about that long too, right? So you can use your knife as a gauge. Any more than that, you're probably only going to end up cutting it off anyway. So good. A way to start is, and again, whatever knife you decide to use, please be careful. You don't want to be digging in your fingers. So a lot of times you can just take just the tip of the knife and you just want to score. Just give it a little score. Not right through the wire, but just score. And then the last maybe half an inch, that's when I kind of punch it right through like that, so that it kind of cuts the edge. And then you can see, then I can just peel this right back, all the way back, all the way back, all the way back. And then I usually just take my knife and I cut it off. But if you want, you can cut it off with your pliers like that. That's the 14-2. The 14-3 conductor, same idea, about 6 inches. And I just take my knife and I just score the jacket. Just score it, not all the way through, just score it. And at the last inch or half an inch, then I cut into it. I cut right into it so that you can see now I can peel it back. And because it is scored, it will go all the way down. And I just pull it like this. It'll open right up for the most part anyway. Sometimes you might have to score it a little more. And that's okay because you don't want to score it too hard because you don't want to damage your wires inside. And if you do damage your wire, just do another one. Just score it again. There we go. That's good enough. And I'm going to cut them off. And you can use side cutters if you have them or your knife. But again, just be careful. Now you can see the difference, 14-2, which means 2 conductors. You don't count the ground. And this is 14-3. It has 3 wires in it. So that the 14-2, black and white, the 14-3, red, black, and white. You can see right there. All right. So that's if you have to prepare your wires to go into a junction box or a switch box or a light box. Now, let's say that these wires are already stripped and they're already in your box, say if you're doing renovations or something like that, and you really can't tell by looking in here, well, what size wire is this? Well, when you've been in the trade for a long time, you start to know. It's like a mechanic. They can just look at a wrench or a nut or a bolt and say, oh, that's this size. Wire's kind of the same way. But if you're unsure, you look at your stripper right here. Your stripper has the gauge numbers marked right on it, right here on the side like that. And then, so what you do, like, you can start with your 14 gauge, which is right in the middle of mine right here. It's right here in the middle. And I usually, if I'm making the junction, I will usually do about an inch of wire, about that much. And then I chop it in. And if it's the right gauge, it'll strip it right off. You just pull it off like that. If it's to 12, the 12 is a little bit looser. Now, if it's a number 12 wire and you use your 14, it's going to cut into that wire. So you want to try to avoid that, okay? Now, if I was prepping this for a device, like say a switch or a plug, again, and I just push them off like this. And then if it's going to be going on a screw terminal, then I want to take it and I'm just going to grab it with the tip of my little pliers here, my strippers, and I put a hook in it like that. Just a little hook like that, and that's going to wrap around the screw. Do that for both sides. That would be for my device, okay? Now, if I'm going to be twisting wires together, let's say I have to make a junction or I have to add a pigtail to it or something like that. Okay. Again, I strip about inch of wire. I'm sorry if I'm going out of frame here. Concentrate on the wire, not the camera. Okay. And then I'm going to get another piece of wire here. I have a separate piece. Now, again, this is not done in free air. I wouldn't just make this connection right here. This would be inside of a junction box, whether it's an octagon box or a square switch box or a plug box, something like that. We don't make connections with wires like this in free air. Imagine, this is going to be inside of a box, all right? Now, I'm going to take my wires here again, about an inch. And generally, we match colors, white to white, black to black. So imagine this is inside of a junction box because we call it a junction. Okay. So generally, inside there's going to be a screw inside the box that the ground wires will attach to. So you would usually loop it around the screw and then you take the two of them. And then I just get these going with my hands like that. These ones are easy because there is no jacking on these guys. Give them a twist, and you want to be, this is your bonding conductor. This is meant to go all the way through your electrical system from your device right back to your panel. Cut off the extra stuff. Good to go. Now, generally, you could see how my cables here, my wires, are different lengths. Now, generally, to make it easier, I could just pull this guy back and do that like there, because these ones are a little bit shorter than the 6-inch, like so. These ones are a little bit longer. And now I'm starting to just babble here, but that's all right. So let's even these guys up. So I'm going to cut this guy a little bit shorter. And then we're going to do that. I'm going to strip him back. So now you can see they're about the same length. Let's do it for both of them. The white conductors, strip him back a little bit. Now again, I've seen connections where people just do this. They put the wires together like this, the two wires, and then they take their wire nut and they screw it on, give it a twist, and that's as much as they do. Now, when you take that off, you can see, that is not a good connection, okay? Let's get it a little better. That is not, just the two wires together like that is not a good connection. We want these to be twisted. Now, according to the manufacturer, if you take this wing nut and put it on here and twist it and twist it and twist it and twist it, So if you're not going to be an electrician, or you're just a handyman or do-it-yourselfer, then if you take this and you twist it and keep twisting it until you start to see the insulation twisting, okay? Keep going, keep going, keep going. That, according to the manufacturer, that will make your twist. So let's check it now. Let's unscrew the wire nut without unscrewing the wire. And you can see that's a pretty good twist. I like that. That's a good twist. So there you could go. If you can't actually, do the twist yourself, then that is one method you can use. All right. Let's try it with the other side. Again, you put the two wires together. Now, I like to make sure that the conductors are at least the same length. Okay. Grab our wire nut, put it together, and twist it, twist it, twist it. And you're going to watch for this part to start to twist around itself. Now you can see that the wire's all twisting, right? There you go. See? Now that, again, if you don't have no dreams of being an electrician, you're just a do-it-yourselfer, that's a good twist. That's a good strong twist right there. Okay. There we go. I'd be satisfied with that. That was good. Your junction is complete, but that's just what we call a two-wire twist. Now I'm going to show you how to do it with the pliers. Okay. So here we go again. Going to take my number 14 gauge wire, my number 14 cutter, about an inch. Doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to get the tape measure out, measure it. Make sure these are nice and straight. About an inch. That's my method. So what I'm doing here, if you're wondering, I'm doing this. I'm cutting the insulation, because if you go too small, there's a smaller gauges in here. If you go too small, you're going to cut your wire. And then I'm holding it, and I'm just kind of sliding it off with my thumb like that. Using my thumb as a little lever there to put it on. All right. Now this is a two-wire twist. Again, so now I'm going to use the pliers. So usually when I was taught to do it, they said same thing, put them together like that, grab it with your pliers and twist it. And over the years, I decided, you know what, I don't like the way that twists, because what you don't want happening is you don't want one wire wrapping around the other wire. You want them to be twisted like this. Twist it, twist it, twist it. So what I do is I start these on the angle like that. I put them together like that. Just like that. See, I crisscross them. Now I grab them with my pliers and I twist. And as I'm twisting it, I'm drawing my pliers out this way at the same time. And there we go. That almost looks the same as it did with the wire. And if there's any little burrs at the end, we just cut them off. And then I can add my wire connector. Make sure it's nice and tight. Because again, your electrical connection is only as good as the weakest link. So again, I'm going to angle both of these. So that's my starting position. Sometimes I give them a little twist to get it started, but that's okay. And then again, as I'm twisting, I'm drawing the pliers away. I don't have a tight grip. If they're brand new pliers, they're going to be really catchy. Mine are starting to get smoothened out here from being used, so they slide very well. But they still grip at the same time. So there you go. You want another wire connector here. Give them a twist. Make sure it's nice and tight. And I would not be worried about that connection coming apart at all. So now I'm going to show you how you twist 3 wires together. It's because you'll get into spots where you'll have a power in, you'll have power out, and then maybe you have your little pigtail that goes on your device. And again, this is not in free air. We don't do this outside of a box. All your connections have to be in some kind of junction box. And that's so they're covered in metal for whatever reason. If there is a bad connection or a spark was to get out, it's not going to catch something else on fire around it. All right. So again, when I do a 3-wire connection, I go just a little bit longer. All right. A little bit longer. Now, when I was trained, I was told put all 3 wires together like that and just give them a twist. But what ends up happening is you might get 2 to twist together well, and the other one will just wrap around it. And that's not a really good connection. All right. So my method is I'll start with 2. I'll start with two of them, two wires together first. And I'll get them going here. And I'll give them a loose twist. I'll just give it a little loose twist like that. And I don't finish the twist, okay? And then I take my third wire and I will lay it right in one of these grooves right here, just like that, or down this way. So that looks pretty good right there. I'll lay it in and then I'll get it started in the groove. And then this guy will follow that space all the way around as I twist them. See that? He's going in the groove because I didn't make it a tight connection. So now I have all three twisted together. And I'll give it a good give it a nice tight, and that, see, I'm satisfied with that. I think that's pretty good. They're all twisted together. Then I cut the extra off at the end because you don't need a ton inside of our wire nut. Just make sure there's no burrs sticking off. Grab a wire nut connector there. Twist it, twist it, twist it, twist it, and twist it tight. So make sure your nuts on there tight, or your wire nut, whatever you guys call them. And I'd be happy with that connection. All right, I hope you got value from this video today. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to put them in the comments. And if you don't mind, give us a like and a subscribe and come back for more videos.